Hey everyone, and welcome back to our channel. Ever found a nickel in your pocket change and just tossed it in a jar? Well, you might want to start checking those coins a little more closely. Today, we're diving deep into the world of Jefferson nickels. And trust me, some of these seemingly ordinary 5-cent pieces are worth a small fortune. We're talking thousands, even tens of thousands of dollars. Stick around, because you might just have a treasure hiding in plain sight. Let's start with a little history. The Jefferson nickel first entered circulation way back in 1938, replacing the iconic Buffalo nickel. Designed by Felix Schlag, the front, or obverse, features a portrait of our third president, Thomas Jefferson, while the back, or reverse, shows his famous Virginia home, Monticello. For over 80 years, billions of these coins have been minted, becoming a staple of American currency. But as with any coin, it's the exceptions, the anomalies, and the rare editions that coin collectors go crazy for. So, what makes a simple nickel worth more than 5 cents? It really boils down to a few key factors: rarity, condition, minting errors, and historical significance. A coin's condition is graded on a scale from 1 to 70. The higher the number, the more pristine the coin, and the more valuable it becomes. A coin that has never been circulated and looks like it just came off the minting press will fetch a much higher price. Now, let's get to the good stuff, the specific nickels you should be looking for. First up, the legendary 1943 halves P Jefferson nickel. This is what's known as an overday error. It happened when the U.S. Mint in Philadelphia accidentally punched a 3 over A 2 on the die used to strike the coins for 1943. This error is most visible on the last digit of the date. If you can find one, even in circulated condition, it's worth hundreds of dollars. In mint condition, we're talking well over $10,000. It's a classic example of a small mistake leading to a huge payday for collectors. Next on our list are the famous wartime silver nickels, minted from 1942 to 1945. During World War II, nickel was a critical material for the war effort, used in armor plating and other military equipment. So, the U.S. Mint had to find a substitute. The solution was a new alloy made of 35% silver, 56% copper, and 9% manganese. You can easily identify these nickels by the large mint mark PD or placed directly above Monticello on the reverse. This was the first time the P mint mark for Philadelphia ever appeared on a U.S. coin, while any wartime silver nickel is worth more than face value just for its silver content. Certain ones are particularly valuable. Keep an eye out for the 1942P with the silver composition. Some were minted with the old copper-nickel alloy, and some with the new silver alloy. The ones with the large P above Monticello are the silver ones. Another key wartime date is the 1943P, but the real star is the 1944S. While millions were made, finding one in top-notch, uncirculated condition is incredibly difficult, and those pristine examples can fetch a significant premium. Moving on, let's talk about another fascinating era coin, the 1950D Jefferson nickel. With a mintage of just under 3 million, this is the lowest mintage regular issue Jefferson nickel ever produced. For years, collectors and speculators hoarded rolls of these, anticipating their value would skyrocket. And they were right. While a circulated 1950D might only be worth a few dollars, uncirculated examples can be worth 50, 100, or even more, depending on their grade. It's a prime example of how low production numbers can create a collectible superstar. So, if you're sorting through old coins, that 1950D is one you absolutely don't want to miss. Now, let's get into some of the more dramatic-looking errors. Have you ever heard of a full steps Jefferson nickel? This isn't an error, but rather a designation of a perfectly struck coin. On the reverse, Monticello has a set of steps. On most nickels, these steps are weak and indistinct, but on a full steps coin, you can clearly see at least 5 or 6 sharp, distinct steps. This indicates a fresh die and a strong strike at the mint. Finding a full steps nickel from any year is a challenge, but finding one from a key date like the 1950D or a wartime silver issue, can multiply its value exponentially. A 1964D with full steps, for instance, is exceptionally rare and is sold for over $20,000 at auction. It's a detail that most people would never even notice. Another error to look for is the doubled die. This happens when the die used to strike the coin has a doubled image on it. The most famous example in the Jefferson series is the 1939 doubled die reverse. On these coins, you'll see strong doubling on the words Monticello and 5 cents. It's a striking error that is highly sought after by collectors. Even in lower grades, this coin can bring in hundreds of dollars. In higher grades, it easily enters the thousands. There's also a 1943p double die obverse, where you can see doubling on Jefferson's eye and on the date. These are subtle, but they add immense value. Let's not forget the 1971 No S proof Jefferson nickel. Proof coins are special, high-quality coins made for collectors, not for circulation, and are typically minted in San Francisco, bearing the S mint mark. In 1971, a huge mistake occurred. A small number of proof Jefferson nickels were struck using a die that was missing the mint mark. These were accidentally included in proof sets sent to collectors. Only a few hundred are estimated to exist, making it one of the rarest non-error Jefferson nickels. If you happen to come across a 1971 proof set, check that nickel carefully. If it's missing its S, you're looking at a coin worth over $1,000. So, how can you start hunting for these treasures? The best places are often the most obvious. Check your own pocket change. Go to the bank and ask for rolls of nickels, a practice known as coin roll hunting. It's a fun and inexpensive way to search through thousands of coins. Look through old family coin jars, flea markets, and antique shops. You never know where a rare nickel might have been hiding for decades. When you're searching, a good magnifying glass or a coin microscope is your best friend. It will help you see the fine details, like the doubling on a die, the steps on Monticello. It's amazing to think about the journey these coins have been on. A single nickel could have passed through thousands of hands, bought countless small items, and traveled across the country, all while holding a secret value that almost no one knew about. It's a tangible piece of history you can hold in your hand, and for collectors, that's part of the magic. So the next time you get a nickel as change, take a second look. You might just be holding a 1950D, a wartime silver nickel, or even a rare era coin worth more than you could ever imagine. The treasure hunt is real, and it starts with your own pocket change. Thank you so much for joining me on this numismatic adventure today. I hope this inspires you to start looking at your change in a whole new light. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about rare and valuable coins, please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to ring the notification bell so you won't miss our next video. Happy hunting, and I'll see you in the next one.